All right. Indycar. We're back. I'm back. Indycar Racing 2. Back for another season. I hope everybody out there is doing all right this morning or this afternoon, wherever you are. Sorry for the mix-up with the old start times with this, but definitely want to get it out of the way before the Rolex, because I'm definitely going to be tuning into that today. How's everybody doing? Welcome to the 1990 season. If you weren't here for the 89 season, this is a career, I guess we'd call it, a season in IndyCar Racing 2, which is a sim from 1995. It comes up all the time in the comments. But the sim itself is from 1995. I already did a full 1989 season live stream, and it went really well. Our driver here, Ryan Axleson, won the championship in his rookie season. There was a lot of up and downs along the way. It was a lot of fun. Went down to the final round, and it actually looked like I had lost it for a minute. And then Michael Andretti DNF'd on his way to capture the championship, which we both DNF'd in the last race, but luckily he DNF'd as well and sealed the deal. So our young Ryan Axleson here won his inaugural season, but this season is going to be quite a bit different because we're going super hardcore mode. So last season I did change a couple of the options to make it slightly less brutal, because IndyCar 2 is super brutal on hardcore difficulty, as you're maybe about to see, although I'm so hopeful that I can get through this one today clean. But IndyCar 2 is a super brutal. So last season I ran with arcade damage, which means you could still damage the car. I did DNF out of 2 races because of crashes, or at least one, 2 out of crashes, Toronto and Road America, after coming together with Rick Mears. So it was still possible to crash, but you could definitely get away with a lot. I think at Phoenix, I was looking back at last season's race for this, and I had a massive crash with Mario Andretti into turn 1, which absolutely would have destroyed the car. So I ran with lighter damage last season, but I'm running with hardcore damage this season. And also random breakdowns, which happened to be on for the final race of the last season, but we're definitely off for most of the season. But my car is now susceptible to random failures, and some of which have nothing to do with your driving. It's just you happen to break down that day. So it's going to be tricky. It's going to be tricky. Let me show here. I've got a few rules, I guess, so I'll show this. So yeah, I was just talking through all of this. If anybody's played IndyCar 2, you know that this is really tricky. This is not easy. I think today is one of the easiest of the tracks. Maybe the super speedways will be a little bit easier just because there's more space, but the ovals overall are going to be my main chance, I think, at doing well. But expect a much more up and down season this season. But yeah, this is what I'm doing. I'm going full damage, so I'll do a practice lap, and I'll show you just how incredibly easy it is to damage your car. I mean, I think it's extremely realistic, but because it's hard to control the cars in IndyCar 2, and specifically the AI are erratic in a lot of ways, that makes it, I think, a lot harder than real life. But you all wanted it. Heartbreak settings are on, indeed, Steve. So full damage will absolutely come into factor. The other thing that's going to be awesome with it, though, and I'm excited for this, is that the AI cars as well will also have full damage. Meaning, if they crash, and they will, they'll break down, cause yellows, and there'll be a lot more yellows. I expect today that we'll at least have 2 yellows during the race. You can get a rare, clean race, but most of the time there will be many more yellow flags just because of crashes and stuff. If an AI hits the wall, it's going to be out of the race. So that'll be a cool thing, but hopefully it's not me causing the yellows. I'm running full breakdowns, like I said, so beyond me over-revving and breaking the car myself, it could just randomly break. And that'll be fun, won't it? So the car could just randomly stop working. I could have a turbo failure or electronics failures or anything like that. I haven't experienced a lot of the failures before in IndyCar 2 because I usually run with that off. So I guess that'll be interesting to see exactly how it works. Just like last season, 100% race length for this. So all the races will be the full distance. Cool thing about Indy in this time period, especially even these days, is most of the races are under 2 hours. The only exception to that are the 500-mile races. So Indianapolis and Michigan, those are longer, three-plus hour races, especially with yellows. But the rest of the races, I mean, it could be a bit longer than last season because of the yellow flags, but I would expect today's race to be under 2 hours, even at 100%. But that'll be the same as last year. And then, lastly, I am running the same AI strength. AI strength isn't just a percentage. In the sim, I run it at 95%, but it's a combination of the sim setting as well as the car set and how you rate the AI cars. And then there's also individual track settings to change how fast they are there. So the AI strength is kind of irrelevant, but it's the same as last season, meaning I did pretty well at most of the races. So if I can stay out of trouble, if I can avoid breakdowns, crashes, all this stuff, I have a good shot at it. It should be relatively similar to last season, although the drivers will have some different performance characteristics because it's 1990 instead of 89. So that's what I'm doing as far as realism. It's quite a bit different, or it's going to be quite a bit different than last year, especially with DNFs and things. So I have two rules, and this is where it's breaking the hardcore just a little bit. But I want to establish these up front because I'm holding to these because I want to make this entertaining for myself and also everybody watching. So I do have two reasons I would restart a race, and I'm going to try to hold to this as much as possible. But you can restart a race at any point if you wanted to, and then just try it a million times. But I will DNF, except for these two scenarios. One, if on the start of the race, and I'm talking like the first couple laps, the AI do some crazy thing and crash me out of the race that I could have never predicted, or the check up and I hit them all, something that's just cheap because it's an old sim in the AI. I'm going to restart then because I don't want to just have a one corner stream. So I will restart if there's a crash, off the start. And then it's going off the screen a little bit here, but if I have a mechanical fail, this is the bigger one. If I have a mechanical failure in the first stint, I'm going to restart as well. I want to try to get at least a little bit into these races. If I crash in the first stint because I'm driving poorly, then that's my fault. But if I have a turbo failure on lap 2, that would make for a pretty bad show. So I will restart then. But otherwise, I'm not going to restart the race. And if I do DNF, we'll watch the rest of the race together. You can do that in IndyCar too. So, but I don't want to get into a scenario where I'm 400 miles into a 500-mile race and I crash and then I restart. That would just be silly. So I will restart in those two scenarios, but otherwise it is whatever happens, happens. Expect there to be some crashes. Hopefully not today, though. Hopefully not today. All right, so we're doing the 1990 season. Let me jump in to IndyCar 2 here. I want to go through a few preseason things. So the race itself, like I said, is a bit shorter today. So we have a little bit of time up front here to go through stuff. So we'll go through the drivers to start things out. It is a 1990 car set. I saw Pavel in the chat earlier. I have to thank him so much. He sent me and updated the car shape of the car to match better the 1990 season, as well as fix. You maybe wouldn't have noticed unless you're really in tune with IndyCar 2, but there were some graphical glitches with the old one that I used for last season where some of the side pods would flicker and stuff like that. That's all fixed. The damage model's been fixed, so if we hit the wall, the head's not going to pop off like it used to. It's a new car shape. I think it looks really nice for this period of IndyCar. And this is our driver, Ryan Axleson. I did a little bit of work on the paint scheme. Just add some lightning bolts down the side pods, and then we are number 1 this season. And actually, this is something I learned, might be interesting for folks, that in this era of kart, depending on the points finish for the previous season, all of the top 10 had the opportunity to change their drivers, or change their numbers. So I always knew that the cars swapped numbers season to season, but I guess I just didn't realize it was because of their finishing position. So because Ryan here won the championship in the last season, we are number 1. Now, I didn't change the numbers for every other car. I did change, we'll look at Emerson Fittipaldi in a second, but the rest of them are going to be how they were in 1990. It just would have been a lot of work to go through and redo every single car. But we'll be racing number 1. So it's the Sunoco Papyrus Racing Lola. IndyCar 2 just has some stock chassis. So I'm running a Lola Cosworth for this, and those do affect the settings. But we'll go through the rest of the grid and who I'm racing against this season. I'll be using a sequential shifter for this, and you'll see all that in a second. So Al Unser Jr. is going to be the main rival, I think. He did pretty well in our 89 season, but he was really good in 1990. He won, 4 or 5 races at least. He won 4 in a row from Toronto through Vancouver as well, including the Michigan 500, which I think was his first 500. He won Long Beach. So he's going to be super quick this season. Last season I was battling Michael Andretti, which still might happen this year, but if I was to guess, I'm going to be battling this guy, Al Unser Jr. But we do have Michael Andretti. Michael is in the 3 car this season. Him and Mario are in different numbers now. So Michael is in the 3, and he's going to be quick. He was my main championship rival in the prior season. So who knows? Might be challenged with him. Rick Mears is back, of course, in the Yellow Submarine, Pennzoil machine. We got Bobby Ray Hall, again with Craco Racing. They merged with Gallus Racing, I believe, coming into the 1990 season. So him and Al Unser Jr. were teammates. Thank you, Lord. Hardcore could turn into Groundhog Days, yeah. Well, we're not going to turn into Groundhog Days, but just in a couple scenarios we'll restart. But I very much appreciate the super chat there. Yeah, so Bobby was very optimistic coming into the season. I don't think he had the best season. He didn't win any races, but he finished on the podium a lot. And you'll see here, by default, IndyCar 2 only has some default like chassis and engines. So technically he's a Lola Mercedes-Benz in the sim, but in real life he had the Lola and Chevy power plant. Emerson Fittipaldi then, he was the number 1. He won the 89 championship in real life. In the sim, I tried to find which number would work, and it feels like 21 could be a Penske number. I don't know. But the rest of the 1 through 10 was taken. So he'll be number 21 this season, and that's one of 2 number swaps from the real life series. But he's running, obviously, with Penske this season. He ran with Patrick Racing in 1989, which might be hard to notice just because he did run with the same paint scheme and everything with both teams. But in 1990, he made the swap over to Penske, who he stayed with for pretty much the rest of his IndyCar career. And then we have Danny Sullivan, and so this will be one of two or three confusing teams. Danny and Emo, I'll go back to Emo here. They have like the exact same livery. In real life, they did too, but Danny Sullivan's number 7, and he has a red and white helmet, whereas obviously Emo has his blue and red. But Danny Sullivan away from the High Life scheme, which is so awesome in 1989, but into the Marlboro Penske style paint scheme. He did not have a great, I think he actually did win a couple races, but he had a lot of trouble as well. Up and down type of season for the 88 champion. And then we get to Mario. So Mario and Michael's cars look identical as well, but Mario is number 6, and Mario has a red roll hoop. They also have the same helmet, pretty much. I think it's like slightly different in real life with like the windshield on the front, but they have like the same exact car. So that'll be really tough to tell them apart. But I did give him a red roll hoop, which I think he ran later in the season. So that'll be a way to tell who's who. But Mario will be quite a bit slower, I think. Then we get to Ari Leyendyk, the 1990 Indy 500 winner. And so he'll be with, he takes Raul Boisel's car with Doug Shearson Racing. And they had a crazy season, won the Indy 500, I think did pretty well in quite a few races. And that's an iconic scheme just because of the Indy 500 win. We'll get through the rest of these that I'll be racing this season. We've got Eddie Cheever with Chip Ganassi Racing, who I believe made their debut this season. Chip Ganassi had raced, actually drove, for folks that didn't know, but Chip Ganassi raced in IndyCar for quite a few years in the 80s, but now owning his own team, and the whole car is shaped like a bullseye. But Eddie Cheever had come over from Formula One this season into IndyCar, so it's kind of his rookie IndyCar season. Then we get to the Porsche team, with John Andretti being the first one. He's in the number 41. This is the third team, which the cars are like very easy to mix up. But John Andretti with the number 41, so he'll be racing with Porsche in 1990. Raul Boesel goes over to True Sports. This car was supposed to be driven by Scott Pruitt, who did really well in 89, both in our season and also in real life. But during testing for the 1990 season, Scott Pruitt crashed and severely hurt his legs, I believe, in a practice crash, and was out the entire season. So Raul Boesel, coming over from Doug Shearson Racing, was called in to take his spot. So we'll be racing him this year, and Scotty will be absent from the grid for 1990. Then we have Scott Goodyear, who I believe is going for rookie honors, just a couple years before his famous Indy 500 finish, but racing for Doug Shearson Racing as well. Then we get to the second Porsche, Teo Fabi. So Fabi stays with Porsche for the 90 season, but in a very similar colored car to John Andretti, exactly the same, just number 4 instead of 41, and his helmet's a little bit different. Scott Brayton back with Dick Simon Racing, pretty much the same thing going on as last season. We've got Randy Lewis. This is where we start to get to some of the swaps and things. Randy Lewis is in the all-red car this year, number 12. Roberto Guerrero for Patrick Racing with the Miller Genuine Draft. I think this is one of the ugliest paint schemes. Just 1 year later, they went to the yellow, which is so much better, which is a beautiful paint scheme, but the brown is not great. Oh my God, Bundy. Thank you. Love what you do. Well, thank you so much. I did not expect a donation there. I appreciate that. So, Patrick Racing. I like the Miller liveries too, Sam, but this specific season, we'll see another one in a second that's not so great in my opinion. Dean Hall here with Dale Coyne. Dale Coyne's team. We've got AJ Foyt. That one of his later seasons, but he was very optimistic coming into the season. I watched the first couple races of the season again a couple weeks ago just to kind of get back in the mood of it all, and he was so optimistic coming into 1990. I don't think it really panned out for him too well. 6th place at Indy finish, though. He was so good right up until the end of his career, too. I mean, especially at Indy. Mike Groff then with Euro Motorsports. I don't know much about them. Maybe we'll learn a bit this season. But all red car. Didier Thays is with Vince Granatelli Racing, who I think it was the same in 1989, if I'm remembering correctly. So that'll be a similar car to last year, that bright fluorescent orange. Then I think we're getting to the end of the grid that we'll see today. But Dominic Dobson here with this Bayside Motorsport. This paint scheme's wild. If you look at it in real life, it has a huge like NASCAR style number 86 on the side, like it does here. This car set it's available on IndyCarRacing2.net, which is in the description. I made a lot of changes to it, and maybe I can talk to the original author to see if it's okay to release. But I changed all the helmets and redid some of the paint schemes and stuff just to make it a bit more accurate. But the original set's quite nice as well. And this one, big 86 on the side. It's really funny like that. Tony Bettenhausen Jr. racing for his own team. Liked his liveries as well. This car, I remember, broke down at Indy as one of the DNFs. And then we get to Jeff Wood racing for U.S. Engineering. It's another one of these smaller teams. Hiro Matsushita, King Hiro as he's known. This was his rookie season. Last season, I think for half of the season, I called Jan Bikas Hiro. But this is actually Hiro's rookie season. And nice looking car with the Panasonic. All right, so I think up to that point, those are the cars that we're going to see in the race today. And the way this works, each race has different size grids, and it always takes the first however many. And so some of these we will only see at some of the tracks that allow for more cars or had bigger grids in 1990. But Pancho Carter we'll see on some of the races. We will see Jan Bikas will be back. This is a really... I had to double check that this car was accurate. It is not a good looking car either, but it is very accurate to the real one. It's just they didn't quite have the best design team. Oh, Sam, thank you for joining the channel. I appreciate that. Willie T. Ribs will be in some of the races. He's not going to be here today, but Willie T. is going to be racing for Raynor Racing. And interesting, and I didn't actually realize this in 1990, they skipped the Indy 500, but they raced a lot of the other races. But in our season, he'll be in the Indy 500 this year. Buddy Lazier for Hemmelgarn will be also in some of the races this season. We've got Kevin Kogan back for a second Vince Granatelli car. He'll probably only be on some of the high-speed ovals, the Michigan 500 and Indy. Then we've got Jim Crawford. So we got two Menards cars, and this is the other fictionalized kind of livery we've got for this season. Oh, Scary, thank you for resubbing. Hello, indeed. Yeah, I did. I'm not one to advertise too much, but I did add some emojis to the. I figured out you could do that on YouTube. So if you do join, and I added a new lower cost option for it, you can use emojis, which will be fun. But we got Jim Crawford in the first of two Menards cars. He made a few starts in the season, but he used number 15, which is used by Eddie Cheever for most of the year. So I had to put him in a fictional number 55 car. So I hope you understand. We've got Al Unser, who will only be showing up a couple times, but he's in the second Patrick car, which, again, I see what they were going for with the livery, but the 89 High Life livery was so much better than the 90. 91, they went back to a better one, thankfully. And then I think last on our list, and again, will only show up for, I believe, Indy, will be Gary Bettenhausen in the second Menards car, number 51, which I think is the actual one he ran. All right, so that's the full grid. We got a few extra cars at the end that we'll never see. But yeah, it should be a good season with all the drivers. And I don't know, to me, having grown up and very much enjoyed this era of IndyCar, it is definitely an era that I like a lot. I like all the paint schemes and stuff. All right, I'll quickly just the double, triple check that I got everything right. But yeah, 100% race length, realistic car damage, breakdowns, yellow flags, pace laps, and random weather. Can't get much more realistic than that. The opponents, again, I'm on 95, but it doesn't really mean anything because you can set the strength in so many other ways. All right, so we'll go to the season. Start a new championship. So here it is. So I'm running the 1990 calendar for this season, and we have the full calendar with all of the real tracks with two minor changes. But unlike the last season, we actually will run the whole calendar, and the calendar actually changed a bit between 89 and 90, but it's similar. We're starting here today. We'll be doing Phoenix, as you hopefully know, one of the few ovals on the season, but we'll be going to Long Beach, Indianapolis for the 500, of course, Milwaukee right after that. So oval heavy up front. We got 3 ovals in the first 4 races, but then we get into a long stretch of road and street courses, going to Detroit, which will actually be the downtown Detroit circuit. It's been being worked on for a while now for IndyCar 2, and I've got the latest version. Maybe there'll be a couple revisions again before then, but it works really well. I've tested on it, and it's really nice looking. So we'll be actually racing the Detroit street track that we should have raced last season, and that IndyCar will be going back to this year, similar version. So that'll be fun. We've got Portland and Cleveland. I can't remember exactly. There's a few of these that are slightly different than the ones we raced last season, but they're accurate to the series. And I should mention Long Beach is one of the few that is slightly different than the real life one, but it's the same one I raced in the last season as well. Meadowlands again, which I don't know how Meadowlands is going to work with the real damage. That's gonna be nuts. Toronto. Then we finally get to another oval with Michigan for the 500 there. But that is the only other 500. Pocono is dropped. Pocono was dropped from the calendar in 1990, and never came back till many years later. And so only 2 500-mile races, which for me, because I enjoy those, and I feel like in this season will be the easier ones, but I've only got 2. But Michigan there, which I'm going to have to definitely maximize my finish there. And then we go to Denver for the street circuit there, which also is a real version of that track and is maybe the best looking IndyCar Racing 2 track. I can't wait to get to that one, but That's a track I don't really know that well. I got to practice it, but it's a very short. I did some laps just to make sure it all works and stuff, and it's a short road circuit, so that'll be a new one. Vancouver will be a new one for this season, and that is the second one, which is not exactly the right layout for this year, but it's a redone track from the original IndyCar 2 one. It's very nice as well, so that'll be fun. But yeah, those two street tracks, which for a season like this, street tracks are not what I was looking for more of, but I guess it's what we've got. And we'll go to Mid-Ohio and Elkhart Lake, Road America, later in the season. Then we'll round out with Nazareth, which will also have the All-Star race, and I'll probably do that again. Oh, Gary, thank you. Thanks for all the great content. Well, thank you all for tuning in today. I'm hoping this has continued to be good. But I appreciate that. So we'll go to Nazareth right at the end of the year, and the All-Star race will be there in this season. So we'll do the little, well, if I make it, I guess, which could very much be up in the air. But if I'm in the top 10, then I'll get to do the All-Star race. And then Laguna Seca to round out the season. So, very, like I said, similar calendar to last year, but slightly different in spots. And it'll be fun to go to some of these new tracks, although there's a lot of street courses. A lot of street courses. All right, 16 rounds, though. It's one additional race from the last season. So Phoenix today, 200 laps. 200 laps around here. So I'm going to do a couple laps of practice and just make sure everything's working and sounding good, and then we'll jump right in. Don't want to labor on enough or any more than I have to here. All right. So I'll load up my race setup just to do a few laps here and show you Phoenix. Of course, this is one of the classic short track ovals in IndyCar. What's happened to it, and also that IndyCar doesn't race here anymore. For those of you that are new to IndyCar 2, this is a game from 1995. It was a DOS game. Never had graphical acceleration for anything that ended up being used a lot. There was a rendition version, but it was a very proprietary type of graphic. So we're running in software mode, and we've got sequential shifter. No, there is no force feedback. I know I get that question every time. There's no force feedback. Wasn't really a thing until like 97, 98. And this game was never patched to include it. But it's weird. I was talking to another member on my Discord last night. You do, like, once you get in the habit of it and get racing, 15 minutes, you almost feel like you can feel the car. It's very, very odd. But we'll be shifting a bit today. To go fast around here, you need to kind of go between 5th and 6th gear. The cars have controls on them for different settings. So you've got roll bars, so I can adjust my rear and front roll bars up and down. You can see the little indicator just above the fuel gauge. Of course, I have shifting gears. We've also got turbo boost controls. And I did a bunch of reading about this. I do not believe the turbo boost setting affects the breakdown percentage. I know folks will say to turn it down to preserve the engine, but from what I can tell, it has no bearing on the engine braking. It does control fuel burn, so the main reason we would ever turn that down is if I need to conserve fuel at race pace. Otherwise, leave that straight ahead. Yeah, this is Phoenix, so the main thing around here is going to be traffic. Obviously avoiding the walls, and I have to drive a little bit differently than I did last season, or quite a bit differently. I just cannot take any chances, so it's all about just keeping tighter lines, I guess, and not passing cars in risky spots, and just making sure I get through this race. Finishing, I think I can finish pretty well if I just finish, and so that's the main goal with all of these. I hope it all looks good, and I hope you enjoy it. I've started adding this little curvature filter to DOS, which I know some folks won't like, but I really like it. It makes it look so much more like I remember this game looking. So hopefully it's not too distracting for folks that don't like it, but I hope you also like it, because I think it looks quite nice. Past one of the Newman Haas cars, I think that's Mario there. Just caught a glimpse of a red roll hoop. Alright, so I want to show you, because I plan to not show you during the race, but I want to show you just how easy it is to brake these cars. And so let's say I'm coming out of a corner and I'm understeering a little bit and I hit the wall. Oh, I actually got away with it. Oh my god. Okay. Proving my point wrong. If I understeer into the wall like that, I mean, it's that easy. That would be race over. There's no way to fix that. Anytime you see the damaged wheel, that means race over. It's very realistic, but it's hard to control the cars in IndyCar 2. Jeez, speed past me. But yeah, it'll be a crazy difficult thing here. Touching other cars, if you like touch another car just a little bit, you'll break your wing. And then you have to pit to change the wings, and so it'll be really cool, but it's just going to be really hard to get to the end of the races, especially with just how crazy the AI are. So we'll hope to avoid this type of scenario, but yeah, just so you know, it's very, very easy to damage the car. So if I'm racing more conservatively than you'd think I should, it's because any little thing can break the car. Oh, all right. Thank you all for tuning in. So we're going to jump in to qualifying then. For points, I guess we'll think about it right up front. You do get points for pole position. You get points for most laps led, 1 point each. Those are the only bonus points. And then, of course, the finishing positions, you can get points. I think it's the top 20 get points. But this is one I really think I can finish on the season, which will not be true everywhere, so I really need to maximize today. But we'll jump in and do qualifying. We'll look here at the current results, and so this is where I could slot in. But it looks like we'll look at this in more detail once I'm done. But Danny Sullivan's currently on the pole with a 182. That'll be tough, but I'll see what I can do here. See if I can get up there. And we'll look at that once I finish my run. But we'll go out and do my qualifying 2 timed laps. No Chastain wall ride, that's for sure. Alright, we get one warm-up lap and then 2 timed laps, just like real life. You also see I'm going to shift, not during qualifying here, it's not as important, but you want to shift before 13,000 RPM, definitely, to preserve the engine. You can blow it if you over-rev too many times. Come around, so come to my timed lap, add a little rear bar to get the car to turn. Just want to avoid turn 3 is the problem spot on qualifying. We'll come to the line, take the green flag, and see what I can do here on lap number 1. Throw it into turn 1, a little bit of brake there, hug it around the bottom side. Up to 6th gear, try to keep it very fast coming into turn 3. Just don't want to spin the car out, hug the yellow line. That was a pretty good groove. All right, come right back in for a second lap, but that should put me only 13th. That's not good. A little bit on the apron into turn 1. I'm really going to have to chuck it into turn 3 here to get anything out of this. Add a little front bar just for stability. Don't spin. All right, I didn't even touch the brakes, just a slight lift of throttle. Understeer a little bit on the exit. Come to the line. Oh, 181, 5th. All right, that's pretty good. That's actually one of my better laps here. Turn 3 is one of those places where it's really easy to understeer and spin the car out. Understeer or spin the car out, depending on your car settings. So that was good. I'm starting 5th. We'll take a look at the starting order here in a second. Does it sound good and everything? I think it should sound all right. Hopefully you can hear the car and hear me. No problem. But we'll look at the standings then. Yeah, I do have a clutch pedal, and you'll see I almost always press it when I come into the pits. It doesn't do anything in this sim. It's just habit. I'm just so used to using the clutch for everything. So I hope I'll probably touch it at some point, but it's all that immersion. All right. So Danny Sullivan in the 7 Penske car gets the pole. Interesting. So from Rick Mears, Michael Andretti up in 3rd, and then Ari Luyendyk in 4th. Myself, Ryan Axleson in 5th. So I'll be starting on the inside 3rd row, this is a really good starting spot. I'm pretty excited for this. Emerson Fittipaldi starts in 6th. Raul Boisel 7th. Mario Andretti back in 8th. Al Unser Jr. is back in 9th. I expect him to come up towards the front, though. It won't be long before we see him. Teo Fabi in 10th. Scott Goodyear back in 11th. Bobby Rahal 12th. John Andretti in 13th. Eddie Cheever 14th. Dominic Dobson. He was so hard to pass last season as a lapped car, so he's starting back in 15th. I think we actually raced him for position a bit, too. AJ Foyt's in 16th. Randy Lewis, Didier Thays, Scott Brayton, Tony Bettenhausen Jr., Roberto Guerrero, Mike Groft, Dean Hall, and then Jeff Wood. We got 24 cars, which is what they ran here in real life. But it should be good. Very slow. You'll see here at the end of the pack, these cars are slow. It's going to be like last season, and it's pretty realistic, I think, that how slow some of the slower traffic is. So we will be catching cars like every 6-7 laps, maybe 10 laps or so. And so traffic is going to be the biggest thing during this race today. By far, traffic, getting around it, but also occasionally there'll be these packs of cars. Some races I've done, there are never any packs and the cars get strung out and pass each other real nice. Sometimes lapped cars will get like side by side and it backs everybody up and there's these huge packs. And if I come across one of those, it will eventually sort itself out, but it might be like, 15 laps stuck in a huge pack of cars. And with the realistic damage, I can't do anything crazy to like dive bomb them or something. So I'll have to stick behind them and all that stuff. So it'll be interesting to see. 200 laps today. Pit window will be just about 1/3 of the race. I think we can go like 80 laps on a tank of fuel. And so we'll pit twice, but there'll be yellow flags probably. And so I'll have to just do fuel strategy as we go. But if it would green the whole way, I would pit probably at 80 laps, pit at 160 laps, and then the last stint do like a half tank. That would be the strategy for, if it goes green, but we'll see. Slightly tweaked the setup this season for this track. And I do have like a season's advantage now of having done all the races to perfect things. I can go back and look at the race and, see my notes on what might have been, what might have needed to be changed and stuff in the car. So I have a little more rear wing on the car, which I think will help stability wise, just make sure I can do well through the whole fuel stint. I think that's it though. I think we're ready to get started. I appreciate you all being here, and I hope we can get through the first race, and it's a good race, and it starts the season off strong, but let's get started with it. Phoenix 200, 1990, first race of the decade. All right, got it on low boost, which doesn't really do much under caution, but just a habit. We'll do our one pace lap and hit the green. So to start here, I just need to get into a place on the track. Nice and easy. Got a little rear bar for the start. And go back up on the turbo boost. Oh, thank you, Sean. Won't be able to read the chat too much during the race, just for fear of my own life here. But we'll start. Hopefully not any crazy incidents off the line. Here we go. Hang back just a little bit, green flag, a little bit of a check up there from the cars in front, and we're green. I don't know, taking a 3 wide down the front straightaway, coming to turn number 1. Ooh, I pinch it down low, real low. That was really bad. Why did I do that? Bobby Rahal snuck around the outside. I think I got a Porsche behind me here. We'll get it up to 6th gear though, and try to just let the pack stretch out a little bit. Yeah, it's Teo Fabi behind me. He's looking towards the outside. Back down to 5th gear. I don't know why I went 3 wide on the front straightaway. I gotta not do stuff like that. That was really, really silly. All right, Mario is in front here, and he's very slow. See if I can set him up for the front straightaway. Front straightaway, I feel like, is the easiest passing opportunity on the track. Throttle coming out of turn 4. Come down to the low side. Sweep down low into turn 1. Oh, I really launched it in a little too hard. He's going to come back down low, but I think I got him. All right. Up to 7th then. Yeah, I don't know why I did that. I should not have gone 3 wide, but it worked out. 197 laps to go, so every time I pass the start finish, you'll be able to see the laps remaining, as well as gaps to cars in front. Love that feature in this sim. I'll leave the leaderboard up so that we can see who's in front and behind me, and maybe track the race a little bit as I go. But we're chasing Danny Sullivan now, so off of pole, Danny Sullivan, and I've got Allister Jr. behind me, who's probably going to be very quick, so we'll see how this works. Everybody's nice and stretched out now, and just kind of run my pace here. We're in first stint, 200 laps, so I got to take it a bit easy and just get through some of the race. Try not to go a lap down if I can avoid it. But closing in here on Sullivan, so I might be able to pass him. He fades up a little wide coming down the back straightaway, but this kink on the backstretch makes it really tricky to pass. Hold back there. Going into turn 3 is a hard passing zone as well. It's really the dive into turn 1 is the safest spot to pass somebody, but it's hard to get the run onto the front straightaway. Might be able to do it coming out of 2. There we go. Side by side, come up to the kink, but I've got the line. There we go. Make the pass on Sullivan, so up to 6th. Keep it in 6th gear. There's no fuel saving or anything unless we get into like a yellow scenario where it makes sense to skip a pit stop or something like that. But easily a 2-stopper, impossible single-stopper. Alright, not a bad start. I'm pretty happy with that. I was a little too adventurous off the line, but otherwise we've gotten into a nice little pocket here. Chasing down Emo then. He's right behind Bobby Ray Hall. And we should start catching lap cars very, very soon. And that'll really spice things up. Hopefully, I hope there's no huge packs. Sometimes they get stuck behind each other a little bit, but they always figure it out, which is good. They don't stay there for the whole race. I have to really watch the wall coming off of turn 1, and then turn 4 here is the other place. It's really easy to hit the wall there. Alright, down to turn 1. I'm pulling in Emo here too, very quickly. I can already see some lap cars up there, so we're coming up to him. As I'm catching Emo, it'd be good to get around him before we get to the lap traffic. It gets really complicated to fight for position and lap cars all at the same time. Not quite close enough here on the front straightaway. Maybe I can do the same thing I did with Sullivan here. It's not quite close enough. If you're not like side by side, they will turn in on you. Car's starting to get a little light coming into turn 3. I gotta watch that. Maybe change the bars here at some point. Alright, big group of cars. It's gonna be wild until some cars DNF and stuff. And I just need to take my time. Nice and easy. Don't do any crazy stuff here. Come underneath Dean Hall. First car is lapped. Yeah, it seems like the pack's really close together still, which is surprising. A lot of times one car will kind of run away with it, which, again, is pretty realistic. I love this sim so much. I've run a bunch of tests this week, and no 2 races have been the same. They've been different every single time, and some of them I can actually win, and some of them would be impossible. It's just a really, really fun, dynamic sim for offline racing. Jump underneath Groff into turn 1. Alright, we got 2 cars side by side here, and Emo's going to have to figure out how to get around him as well. Might have to take the high line into turn 3. Come on now. Oh, he gets around up on the high side. That's really hard for me to do. I can do it if I really launch it into the corner. Alright, we'll just skate by down the front straightaway though, 3 wide. I don't like that, but it would really kill my pace to get stuck behind them. Yeah, I talk about these old Sims AI that racing wheel to wheel in these old Sims is not great, but the race itself is amazing. Like, you can actually have a real race, and cars DNF and they change position, and some cars will be faster than others and it'll change, and it's so much fun. The wheel to wheel stuff, it's hard, and I think that's where newer Sims are a bit better. but they can't actually do a race. The AI will do silly stuff or not pit right and all this stuff. Anyways, I just love these old power sims. Been playing them a little too much lately. All right, Emil sweeps down low into 3. All right, we're at about 31 gallons. The car's going to start getting into its good handling range from about 30 gallons to 10 gallons, and then I really have to change stuff. Emo's coming up behind these two. I just didn't know if he was going to sweep down low. I chickened out of it. We got Tony Bettenhausen and Scott Brayton in front. Emo's going to sweep around the high side. I don't think I can do that. Just the door closes there on the exit. Brayton's going to stick in front as we'll come down into turn 1. Really hug the apron. All right, I'll get him before the kink. Very close there, though. So Emo able to outsmart me through the lap traffic. All right, 20 laps down already, so 10% of the race behind us. We got Thays here in front. So Emo's going to get stuck behind him. Well, if I was prepared for that, I maybe would have been able to sweep around the high side. Emo pass underneath him. So much fun dueling through traffic. You have to be so precise with it. Down to 5th gear here. I'm starting to understeer a bit on corner exits. I might kick the rear bar up one more. I'm actually going to go stiffer in the front as well. Stiffer in the front hurts turn in, but it actually helps stability quite a bit. So the car doesn't like grab as much when it gets into the corner. So you can kind of smooth things out a little bit. Oh, I almost squeaked underneath Dobson there. I'll try to get him on the exit. That was a really tight pass. He's going to look to the high side of Goodyear, opens up the bottom. Just understeer a lot on the exit, but he gets chopped in front of. Come down the front straightaway, take Mo past Goodyear as well. All right, get the position on him into the top 5 then. I think I'm quicker than Mo, so I should be able to stretch it away. That wasn't an easy pass. It took a while to find a good spot around. All right, and Michael Andretti's in front. Bobby Rahal's up to 3rd. Rick Mears is leading the way from Ari Leyendyke up front, so Rocket Rick on form today. Got AJ Foyt here, should be able to get him right before turn 3, although that's close. Looks like Michael just jumped Rahal in front. All right, we're starting to get into that point of the race, so we're about 25 laps in. Everybody's spread out. It's quite nice. There's no huge packs yet. See, I can't really read the chat too well, but I see a lot of questions about the sim, and if folks are really curious, and I did an install tutorial, which is in the description, and I also linked to the Indycar Racing2.net site, which you can register for, and that's where all the community is for it, so you can ask questions, download stuff, all the good stuff here. Chickened out of it there. Emo's come back around me as I'm trying to fight to get around Mario. Really on the low side of Dean Hall there. Yeah, this is Mario on the outside. Mario is always tough to pass. We've got, what is that, John Andretti or it's Teo Fabi going a lap down. Understeer, a lot of understeer, but I got to keep the car a bit understeery, because if you lose the rear end in IndyCar 2, it is very, very hard to catch. All right, Roberto Guerrero there in the Patrick Racing car. Get around him. Right, so we're getting close to half tank of fuel. 6.8 seconds off the lead, which is not too bad. A lot of times, like I said, one car will be just like mega quick, and it'll be hard to keep up. But it seems like we're staying pretty packed up today. Jeff Wood in front here. Gonna have to do the high lane pass around the high side. Ooh, hold your breath there. Did it. It's a little easier on low fuel. I got Mo right behind me again, though. He's trying to figure out a way around through the traffic. Ray Hall and Lyndike's falling down, so Andretti actually back up to second now, so Andretti's trying to catch up to Mears. Gets around Lyndike for second position. Oh yeah, it's handling really nice now. I really like, I added just a little bit more wing off my 89 set, and it's just made it just that much nicer to drive. And I don't miss the straight line speed so much. So, all right, 7.1. So I think I'm falling off the leader. We'll get a gauge on that this lap. But Rocket Rick is living up to his name so far. Well, I pulled him in a little bit that lap. So maybe traffic, but we'll see how it changes over the next set of laps. 2/10 though. Little pack of cars in front. I do see a yellow one. That might be Ray Hall, though. Oh, and I do see the baby blue of Lyndike, so catching up to them, too. Their Porsche in front. And I guess this is John Andretti, this one. Yeah, the 41. He just make it out on the rear wing. Whoa, and he looks high on Brayton. That was sketchy. Come on the front straightaway. Sweep way low under both of them. No thank you. You guys have your own little battle going. All right, really just want to get through this first stint, get to the first pit stop. Surprised there hasn't been a yellow flag yet. A lot of times there's one pretty early just with the amount of cars on the track. But it seems like it's all been fairly clean so far from everybody. Start of the season, everybody's taking it easy. Doesn't look like there's any cars in the pit lane either. Got Roll Boys out here and Eddie Cheever Jr. They're stuck up behind Bettenhausen. I gotta try to get around this in a safe way. Fifth gear. Oh, they're already trying to go 3 wide in front. This is going to be a tricky one. I might need to let them both get around Bettenhausen before I can do it. I can see there comes Mo behind me, just in the mirrors. It's going to keep me honest through all of this. They slide out wide, stuck up behind Dean Hall. I think we got Didier Thays here. Oh, come on. That was close. To check up on the brakes there. I got one of the Newman Haas cars coming wide. No, that's Bettenhausen. Onto the grass a little bit. Why did I do that? It's another one of those. I should have just waited, but okay, it worked out. Oh, passing the grass for lapped traffic. I did not need to do that. I gotta really take it easy here, because stuff like that's so easy to get you out of the race. And it's like the first stint of the race right now. Enough excitement. Boiselle on the outside, down to turn 1, down to 5th gear. There we go. I just cut it just a little bit on the grass there. A lot of lap traffic now in front. I think we ran a couple more cars here in 89, so it was just that little bit more crazy. It's been a really... Sometimes these races are just like massive packs of cars, and it's been much more spread out than I was thinking it would be so far. Just kind of waiting here for Dobson and Groff to sort it out. Groff's quite slow, so Dobson gets around him. Dobson's actually pretty quick here. He's making his way through all the lap traffic. Oh no, he actually holds it back. Who's that? Randy Lewis in the 12? I think that's Emo right behind me now. Oh, car coming high. Is that Boiselle? Oh, I'm getting squeezed down so much. All right. That was crazy. Come through the kink then. Get under Randy Lewis. Dobson in front. Take him on the high side, maybe. Oh, just force him low. Oh, that was really close. I think I'm actually pulling in, though. Ray Hall in front here. I can see him on the low side. Just getting underneath Foyt and Jeff Wood. 16 gallons of fuel. All right, I got to really start being careful about turn 3 here. This is when the car can lose it. I just upped the front bar a little bit. Oh, we can see Allister Jr. behind's gone a lap down. I did not expect that. I expected him to be the quickest car. But not today, I guess. Here comes AJ Foyt on Jeff Wood. Oh, sweeps out wide. Come on, Foyt. Stuck in his own little race here. All right. So, quarter distance complete. I made it to at least 1/4 of the race. I'll be happy. I'm very happy. The start is the hardest part always, but... Yeah, Rick Mears is up front, I think. We'll look real quick. Yeah, so Rick Mears from Michael Andretti, 3.2 seconds. And Ari Leindyk's right with Michael. And then they're pulling away a bit from Ray Hall and I. But maybe on raw pace I'm good. I don't know. It's the traffic's the hard part because I really have to be cautious with it. This is definitely a Rick Mears track though, so I don't know how many times he won at Phoenix. I think he won this race in real life, didn't he? I believe he did. Alright, so we're going to have to start thinking about the pit soon. Man, if it goes full green and no yellow through the first stint, that's pretty wild. At this point, if it did go yellow, I would definitely pit immediately. Should be able to make it on one more stop from here. It'd be tight. It'd be really tight, but I think it's possible. Alright, Mario here in front. Slide up underneath him, coming through the dog leg there. Whew. Car runs really wide in front. One of the slower traffic. Dean Hall there. I've pulled it into 9.2 seconds, so, I mean, it's probably some traffic and stuff, but doesn't matter how I catch him, as long as I'm pulling him in a little bit. We're coming into the final quarter tank of fuel here for the first stint. Ari's falling back. Ooh, they're swapping spots in front, back and forth. Ari and Michael. All right, Bettenhausen in front here. Ray Hall stuck on the outside. He's going to work his way around the high side, though. See if I can at least get Bettenhausen here on the front straightaway. One of the Porsches in front's all over the track. Trying to get around Brayton. It's Fabi. See if I can at least get Fabi here up through the kink. Brayton's going to stay in front. Coming to turn 3, Brayton on the high side. Had to take a little bit of a risk there, but I got him. Up to 6th gear. Rahal slicing and dicing below. Roberto Guerrero there. We got Didier Thays right in front. Really fast on both of these guys, but Thays slides out wide. I was almost going to go high there. I'm happy I didn't. Really pulling in the leaders now. I wonder if there's a big pack of lapped cars. Sweep underneath Lewis as well. All right, get both of them. All right, so I think I'm quicker than Rahal here right in front, but getting around him is going to be the trick. It's not like passing a lapped car because they're just slightly slower than me. We're really all packed up. Looks like, wow, all top three are within 0.1 of a second from each other. So there's definitely a big pack. I think I can actually see it now. Oh no. So things were going really well, but there is a large pack of cars in front, and that's why everybody's closing up together. So we'll see. I just have to take my time with this. There's no sense. I mean, I'm right behind the leaders, so I'm not going to be worried about getting lapped or anything. I just got to weave my way through and not worry about trying to pick up spots. It's just about getting through the traffic with everybody else. But it looks like Foyt is side by side up front. I think Mears is in this pack, so we're all in this little pack together, stuck up behind Jeff Wood and maybe Eddie Cheever up there. This is going to get really tricky because folks are going to start pitting soon. All right, Scott Goodyear, get around him. Yeah, I'm just worried with cars going to be pitting soon that if I'm on the low side here and somebody decides to pit, it's going to be absolute chaos. Oh my god, how are we going to do this? I guess I could pit right now. I could pit now. I could say I don't want to work through this traffic. I might do that. Alright, we're making an executive decision because I'm worried I'm going to get wrecked out if somebody pits directly in front of me. So I'm going to pit right now, which is not the ideal strategy, but I should have no problem making it to the end of the race. We're going to pit and see what I can do here. All right, first stint complete. It was a little bit shorter than I wanted it to be, but I think we'll be all right on fuel. We'll look at the numbers and everything in a second. I think I use about a half a gallon. Just gonna make sure I don't speed here. One lap down though, so if it goes yellow, I'm in serious trouble. And actually, I'm gonna be coming out right behind this pack. All right. It's okay. I think they're about a half a lap ahead, and I'm gonna be pretty slow here, which is the main risk with this. Whoa, bars are like all the way up still. All right, there we go. One of the Porsches coming up behind. You're going to see how much faster the AI are than me right now. Full fuels killer. Okay, so what do we got? Whoa. I really had to chicken out of that. Sometimes they just cut up right in front of you. All right, so we got 130 laps to go, so I got to make it to lap 65 to go. 65. I got to make 65 laps. I should have no problem doing that. So as long as it doesn't go yellow before the leaders pit, I should be good. Yeah, I think by the time I catch them, if I catch them, the pack will, like, everybody's going to be pitting and stuff, so I think it'll be fine. But we are now past the point of no return. I said in the beginning of this I would restart the race if I got a mechanical failure during the first stint, and that hasn't happened. So if the car breaks, it breaks. If I crash, I crash. I'm no longer restarting the race today. Knock on wood. It's been going well so far. I think that was a good decision to pit, but if it goes yellow before everybody else pits, then I'm going to be in trouble. Oh, everybody's pitting right now, so I think this is going to work out. Back on the lead lap. Good. All right. That was the big risk, and it looks like Ari's coming out right in front of me. If he dies, he dies. So we got Ari Leyendyk here, and actually I'm going to be on like slightly better fuel and tires and everything than everybody else. This could actually be really good. Here comes everybody out of the pits here. I think that's Mears. I just got around Emo. Oh, this has worked out. This has worked out really well. Play it cool. Just play it nice and cool. But I think these are all the leaders directly in front of me here. Michael might be up in the lead now. Nice and easy. Nothing. I don't need to do anything dramatic. I've got everybody right in front of me. This is crazy. I've never seen a race like so packed up like this with all the leaders. Normally you get pretty spread out. It's not uncommon for there to only be one car on the lead lap at the end. Everybody wants to play today. Start of the season, I guess. Oh, Boiselle slips out wide. I'm going to go underneath him here. Got Alistair Jr. then right in front, and he's actually a lap down. He's a lap down. So we got to get around Jr. then. Ooh, there's a car. Was that coming out of the pits, maybe? Phasing through the pit wall. Sneaks around John Andretti on the high side. Maybe I can do the same. There we go. Just got to get it to grip up, turn in, slide, take the position. Jr. gets held up from Scott Goodyear. I get both of them then. I'm okay with that. Long race to go still. There's plenty of things that can happen, but I'm looking really good right now. 3.4 seconds off the leader. I think it's Andretti. Yeah. Andretti from Ray Hall up front. But I've got Mears right in front here, so despite leading the first stint entirely, he's had a lot of issues with lap traffic. We've got Cheever trying to go outside of Hall. We've got Mo right in front. Slip underneath both of them. It's all right. All right, back into the top 5 after all that. Oh, thank you, Went Golfing. I appreciate the long membership. I think you're maybe my longest member, so I appreciate that. All right. Cheever then, get underneath him, use the apron just a little bit, gotta add a little bit more front bar. Car got like really twitchy there. There's another little pack of cars in front, not quite like the behemoth before the pit stop, but you guys are crazy. Oh no! I don't think I hit him. I heard a crash behind me. Yellow flag, yellow flag. Alright, no boost. Ooh, I just hit the brake bias instead of the boost. There we go. Alright, we'll let me get caught up to the pace car. We'll take a look at what happened there. But I think Thays crashed and it would just happen to be right in front of me. Yeah, that does happen. I mean, they do lose control on their own and crash and everything. But first yellow flag. that worked out. Thank God we got through all the pit stops and stuff. And that's going to close up the pack here. All right. We'll jump into the replay here real quick and see what happened there. But, yeah, it looks like it was Thays. It was the Granatelli car, and Kogan's not in this race today. So here he comes. Use the other camera. Coming down to turn 1. So I was down on the low side. Yeah, it was like a netcode before netcode exists. What was that? That was so weird. He just got loose. He got scared. He saw the defending champion coming up behind him. Oh, well, there goes Thays. Loses the rear wheel. That is super weird. Okay. Well, that's going to make things pretty interesting here. Yeah, using my psychic powers, I guess. Yeah, the AI sometimes, I mean, they sometimes lose it. You know, it kind of simulates maybe like the... We'll be able to... Oh, I guess his DNF reason's going to be an accident, but sometimes, like, their radiator can break and oil can come out. I guess that would be coolant, but, like, you know, they could drop oil on the track and then spin out. It's not super unrealistic. No, that probably would not have been a yellow if I was running arcade damage. So the realistic damage is going to add a lot more yellow, especially on ovals. Road courses, yellows are still pretty rare. You have to have a pretty big crash. Yeah, I should be able to make it to the end here with one more stop. So it's going to be all about... I got to make it to like 65 to go or more, which I think I'll have no problem doing here. All right, so yeah, we're on lap 80, so we're not even halfway yet. But bunched up, it looks like Bobby Rahaal's leading. How did that happen? Bobby Rahaal's in the lead from Michael Andretti, Ari Leindijk, and then Rick Mears. Now, if I pit now, I would lose all this track position. So that would be not... it would not be good. All right. So we'll be going to green next time. Back up to full boost. Please, Lola, Cosworth, stay with me today. Things are going pretty well so far. I would love a top 5 finish. I would love more than that, but I will take a top 5. All right, green flag. I have to lay back just a little bit because if they check up, there's just no chance of not running into the back of them. Kind of into turn 1. Car's a bit dodgy there. Got Mike Groff here really slow right in front. Get around him easy. I got Bettenhausen then. Oh, Tony. Oh, and here comes one of the Penske's as well with Unser Jr. My God. That was Emo. Oh, we'll sweep back underneath him. Crisscross. I wasn't able to stay on the high side of Bettenhausen. I got cold tires again off the restart, and that was almost bad, almost really bad. So Fittipaldi right on the tail end of the lead laps. There's only 6 of us up front on the lead lap still, but we're all 6 of us together here. Emo's quite quick, though. He's right behind me, sticking with me. It's really wild that none of the cars are massively quicker. That happens so often where one of the cars will just be a lot quicker than everybody else. We got a rare race today, so hopefully it works out, because it's been a good one so far. 105 laps to go, so we're coming into halfway. And I'm looking good on fuel. Nice and easy with the entry to turn 3 and just ride the yellow line. Paint the line around the bottom. 6th gear, 104. I'm closing in on, I think, everybody in front. I might have the quickest car today, but I have to actually get around them and then fight lap traffic for the end of the race. There's a lot of racing to go. Yeah, little by little, that's all I need. Full race, so you don't need to rush anything. Just keep a nice steady pace going. Dip underneath mirrors. All right. Got a couple positions there. I'm just trying to figure out what Lyndike's about to do here with Dean Hall. Stay behind him for a second. He drifts out wide. Hall's going to block the low line. I'm just going to wait for him coming out of the corner. It's all right. No biggie. Just wait for him to slide wide. There we go. Come down the front straightaway, down the middle, up to 4th then. A little pack of cars here in front, but shouldn't be too big of an issue. Just wait for it to sort itself out. So Lyndike, Andretti, and Ray Hall, 3 of them right in front of me. All right. Oh, Goodyear, I could see him doing it. I could see him looking down low. Ray Hall's stuck on the outside. Just wait for it. It's so frustrating, but you just gotta wait for it. It's not unrealistic. I mean, you gotta plan your moves through the traffic. Lap traffic would probably be a little bit more inclined to dive out of the way in real life. Not close enough to Brayton that time to sweep up the inside. That might be where the slightly more rear wing this season on this track is hurting me. Just getting past cars in the front straightaway. All right, slip up the inside of Brayton into turn 3. Looks like Ray Hall and Lyndike and Andretti up front, though, are able to clear him pretty easily. We got Mears now right behind me. Dobson, Groff here. Here comes Mears on the high side. Oh, he's going to take advantage of that. Up around the high side. Same with Emo. No, Emo gets blocked. All right, come down the low side. 3 wide, but just get in front of him into turn 1. There we go. All right, I got around them all. Mears got back around me, though. But it's all right. We'll chase him down. I think I'm quicker. I feel really encouraged by my pace, so I just need to wait for the right opportunities and not force anything and end the race with a crash or anything like that. We're over halfway, 94 laps to go. Coming up on AJ Foyt. So Ray Hall. Both yellow cars are right in front of me, so I got Mears directly in front of me, and then Ray Hall up the road just a little bit. And Mears gets caught up just a tad behind Foyt. Ooh, big time actually through the kink. Foyt slides way out wide. I'll take him here too. There we go. So satisfying. Luckily there's no marbles or anything on the high side of the track, so you can kind of rip whatever lane you want. A lot of understeer there. It's January, so I guess we're plowing a little bit today. Mears looking at Bettenhausen in front. Gets below him. Bettenhausen's like that speed where he's, slow enough to lap a bunch of times, but he's just fast enough that it's tricky to do, especially when we're with other traffic. Alright, so we're going to be super good on fuel, and I might actually not need to put a full tank in going to pit again. I think I get about a half a gallon per lap on average. So basically just need to divide the lap number by 2, and that will be the fuel. So I could actually make it to the end from here with a lot of saving, but once we get within 75, 80 laps to go, I'd have no issue making it to the end. And I want to run the tank low so that I'm fast, because I am very slow on full fuel. That yellow flag helped me out a lot last time. But might be able to short fill a little bit towards the end here. Big pack of cars in front. Randy Lewis on the high side. Mir sneaks around him. Lewis dives down. Almost went for that spot too. Get him on the front straightaway. Dean Hall then, get him before turn 1. There's Cheevert. Always afraid they're going to switch lanes, but he's stuck to the outside, thankfully. Oh, it's so satisfying just to carve through traffic. And when it goes well, it goes so well. It's unlike any other type of racing. Thought Fabio was going to turn in on me there. Slammed on the brakes. It's all right. We're good. It's a big dive out of the way. All right, just play it cool here. Mears is stuck behind Guerrero on the outside, wheel to wheel. We got both of them though. All right, so I got Mears then. Just off of traffic. Here's a Teo Fabi on the outside. I'll get him. Ray Hall's looking up the inside of one of the cars. Right, look at him. Okay. Bobby's pretty quick, but I'm just a little bit better through traffic as he gets held up with Goodyear there. He gets stuck out to the high side. Sweep below him. Not going to have enough to get Goodyear, though, before the kink. Oh, Ray Hall comes back around to kind of give him that. All right, he's going to get Goodyear this time. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So still, I'm only 5 seconds off the leader, so everything is still to play for here. We got 80 laps to go, so we're well within the range to make it to the end of the race. Brayton, come on. Oh, that was close. Almost tapped Ray Hall there. A lot of Scots. Too many Scots. All right, Mears is right behind me again, so he's not going to leave me alone. Ozell, Dobson. Side by side, of course. Dobson's a little slower, thankfully. Get around him. All right. Try to get Boiselle here on the front straightaway. It's so good. Ray Hall's just like this perfect speed where I'm chasing him, and he's just a little bit better through the traffic, so I keep catching him and then losing him. Just about into the last third of the race, though. Okay, the car's very neutral coming into turn 3, so I got to be careful. I might increase the front bar a tick. Just a tick. Ray Hall's stuck here. It's one of the Porsches. I think it's Fabi. Once again, brake check a little bit. No, it's John Andretti on the high side. Get him into turn 3. Is a little bit late of a lunge, but I got it. Dean Hall then on the outside. Mears is like right with me too, so it's the tricky stuff. Ray Hall's behind Bettenhausen. It's tempting to just try to like make a wild move, but I can't risk throwing this all away, especially with the rest of the season. Oh, here comes Mears. Come on now. This is one of my good shots at a good finish. Mears is going to get around. He squeezes me to the bottom there. Yeah, Bettenhausen's tough to get around today. Over-under there on Randy Lewis. All right, back to 5th. Not the end of the world. Looks like Michael's up front, of course. Ahead of Lyondike in 2nd, Ray Hall 3rd, Mears 4th. I'm 5th, and Emerson's last car in the lead lap back in 6th. He's not much of a threat in this stint. He was a lot quicker at the beginning of the race. Get around Jeff Wood there. Guerrero. We've fallen off though, so Michael's... No, he's back to 2nd. All right, so Lyondike's really trying to go for it today up front. Him and Michael are swapping it, but they're pulling away just a little bit. I'm down to 7.5 seconds now. So through all the traffic and things, maybe on raw pace, I'm quicker. 65 laps to go. All right, we're getting close here. Under 10 gallons of fuel. Going to be coming up to the final pit stop pretty soon. And I want to run this as far as I can, because if I get caught, I'm going to be pitting probably a bit earlier than the AI, because I pit early on the first stop. And if I get caught out with a yellow, I mean, that's going to be disaster for this. So I need to try to stretch this to the last tenth of a gallon, and then make the stop and see how it all plays out. Setting myself up well here for a top 5. I just need to close it out. Hope the car sticks together. Hope I just continue to make the right choices with the AI. And who knows? Who knows what could happen? We're actually closing back in on the leaders just a little bit. Got a Newman Haas slow, but I think it's Mario. Mario and Scott Goodyear. Whoa, I'll take Scott. That is the sketchy stuff, but had to do it. Had to do it. All right, these two getting caught up behind Brayton, then Scott and Scott. If we had Pruitt, it would be perfect. Oh, the car is just perfect. Really, really drives nice. It's a bit understeery in general, but it feels very safe, and I can really drive it. I know exactly what it's going to do. So right behind Ray Hall now as we're going to come up to a few more lapped cars. It's balanced really well. They're like the same exact speed I am. All right, so how much fuel do I take in the final stop? It's not that long to fill it all the way. Tires are no issue because they change them at the same time. As long as I take like 20 gallons at least. But I don't want to ever end up in a scenario where I'm short pitting or I'm not having enough fuel to make it to the end. But 60 laps, I think I should be able to do 30 gallons and be fine, more than fine. I think I'm going to put it to 30. Stuck up behind Dobson here. Do the old high side line. Finally mapped all these things to actual controls. All right, so I'll fill it to 30 gallons here in a few laps when I pit, which is still more than I need, but it'll save a little bit of time, and the car will be a much better handling car when I come out of the pits. Ooh, car down low, fuel lights on. I thought one of the cars might have been pitting there. Got a Porsche in front. I lost some time to the two in front thinking about all that. You really be committed here. Slamming on the brakes, changing lanes. Guerrero here in the low sides, kind of really, really slow. I'll get him. Yeah, no, we got a few laps. I talk about it every single race. I hate the fuel light. It just removes your shifting light. But when you get under 5 gallons, you get that, which I guess is a nice reminder, but I'd never miss the fuel. A few more laps. I'm going to do it now. There's just so much traffic here that I'm going to just do a little bit of what I did last time. Pit. Should be fine on fuel from this point. Get into the stall. There we go. So a little under 50 laps to go. All right, away we go. It's a little risky because if there's a yellow flag, I'm going to be in trouble, but just get out of the pits. I always stay a couple miles an hour below. It's not worth trying to push the speed. You don't lose that much time. All right, back out. So clean pit stop and a couple lap cars here. Nice little pack. It's Dobson again. All right, I just need to be really careful for cars pitting. Well, once again, just the bars. 51 laps to go, so getting into the last quarter of the race. We are good to go to the end. Dobson slides way out wide. I'm a little nervous to dive down low now because they're going to be pitting. And I'm not quite quick enough to do what I was doing before. Just a little slower. Better hope this all works out. Come on now. I don't have enough speed to really get around him. I'm the first car lap down now, just because of the pit. And I got another Newman Haas coming up behind, but I think it's Mario. I really got to get around these two without too much trouble. Mario dives down low with Unser Jr. Lose a spot there, actually, and there's the leader. I'm 2 laps down now. That's not good. It might have been a mistake to pit so early. I just saw there was a lot of traffic, but I'm right back into the traffic, so it's not like it actually helped me. Just stick with it. They still got a pit, so I should be able to get my laps back. It'll be close, though, to get both of them. Car's diving in the pits there. There's the leader, so that's one of my laps back, and I should be able to get the second one before they come out. But Michael's in the lead, pitting here. There's Dobson checking up. My God. All right, come around front straightaway. Oh, no. Oh, I got it back, but he's right behind me. All right, I got to get around Dobson here before he just crashes me out. There we go. Guerrero now in front. All right, so I got my lap back, but I'm like right on the tail of the lead lap. 6th position. I lost a lot of time through that whole pit stop exchange. Nothing I can do about it now. Just gotta get to the end of the race, and hopefully I can get past Mo again. He's right up here, so I think I can. Just gotta play it cool, get back into the top 5. This isn't gonna work. Really low down low there, but just gonna nip underneath him. Oh, yellow flag. Okay, that might actually be good. I don't need to worry about saving fuel. I need to try to power around and get to the finish. No, don't. Okay, I thought it might give me a black flag for passing him, but he dove into the pits. All right, I got around the pace car, which is really good. What was that about? We'll look in a second. Once I get caught up, we'll look at what the scenario is. But that is really good. I mean, I have a feeling we're going to be at the very end of a very long pack because Mo is not going quick enough here. Yeah, this might really save my result today. If Mo had only gone a bit quicker there, we could have passed all of these cars. Alright, I'm in 5th now, though. Lyondike's actually behind me because he pit. And we're going to be bunched up at least, but probably have a whole bunch of lapped cars between myself and the leader. We'll look at the replay in a second to see what happened. But somebody crashed. Alright, there we go. It's not too... well, it's most of the field. I was going to say, it's not too bad, but it is most of the field. Alright, let's look at the replay. Just want to make sure we're going a safe speed before I'm exiting out. Yeah, that is champion luck, isn't it? I'm really lucky there. Alright, let's see here. Who? Oh, Guerrero. That's a big hit. Guerrero was right next to Thays earlier on. So Guerrero was just ahead of Michael. Michael's sweeping around the outside of him there. And, wow, right in front of Dobson, too. Nails the wall. Tires and gearbox everywhere. It is a sweet Camaro pace car, Ian. All right. Yeah, the crashes are big with full damage. All right, this is good for me. It's also scary. We're going to be in tons of traffic here. 39 laps to go. I just got to mentally prepare for what I want to. I think it would be so tempting to try to just go crazy. But I need this result today because I think it's going to be really hard to finish some of the street circuits, especially, and with so many on the calendar, I really need a good result today. So I'm gonna do my best, but I gotta stay like I've been driving the whole race. not the three wide crazy moves. Just be nice and gentle on it. 1 to go. Wow, they really cleaned that up quickly. We're going to have 37 laps to go when we go green. And it's only a dozen back markers. Yeah, I just got to do what I've been doing the whole race. And I need the result. Top 5 would be just awesome today. I want to win, but we'll see if I have the opportunity to do that. But it's more important than to get this top 5. And maybe a couple more spots. I can see Mears and Ray Hall up there. I got Mo right in front of me. There's going to be a big checkup here on the green, I think. Maybe not. I got a bad start there. I thought there was going to be a checkup. Whoa, down to 4th gear. Come through turn 1. It's John Andretti on the outside. We're going to both slide past. I keep forgetting who's in the red car there. Really slow car, though. All right. Both Porsches here gonna give me some trouble. Wow, they do this big checkup coming into turn 1. That is a little frightening, to say the least. All right, here's Leyendijk right behind me. Understeering quite a lot there. I really had to chicken out of that. I thought I was going to be able to get around Bettenhausen there, but I did not have enough speed. I'm lucky. I'm a lucky guy. Oh, here comes Ari. He's going to have the lane, too. Come on. All right, keep my head together. I'm back to 6th, but it's not the end of the world. I know Emo's quite slow in front. I should be able to get him just on pace. Bettenhausen, once again, he's been the tricky one this race, hasn't he? All right, Andretti slides out wide, able to get him. Got Foyt right here, get him as well. All right, clear to the cars in front. Leyendijk, got one other lapped car, I think there, Mario, and then Emerson. Getting down to the important parts of the race here. It was not a great start, but it's so hard to get past all the lap traffic and everything. A little aggressive on the entry there to turn 1. There's Mario, just a little too quick for me to get through the kink and the back straightaway and everything. On the front stretch. The guys up front, they're just a little too quick for me. It's crazy. Like, what other sims do the AI change pace so much? It looked like in the middle stint there, I was way quicker than everybody. And because of fuel and strategies and stuff, now they're all like very quick here right at the end of the race, right when it counts most. It's just so cool. So much fun. Right to the wall there. Got a half tank of fuel. My estimate's saying 36, 35 laps. 28 to go. So we're fine on fuel. More than fine. Catching Allenser Jr., but he's been quite slow today, so he's definitely not Definitely not going to be good in this one, points-wise. All right, 7 seconds off of Michael up front. I guess we don't know for sure, but not super far off Ari and Emo in front of me. So looks like we get the other Penske car up there too. So Sullivan, he's actually behind me. He's 2 laps down. Very slow today. Wow, he got the pole, didn't he? Pole sitter is just not having the race. Al Jr. able to stay in there through turn 1. I got him though. Back straightaway kink. All right, they're all being held up a little bit. I think Emo just slotted or got stuck behind Dean Hall, so he's going to stay on the outside then. But it looks like Ari got around Emo. It's probably not good for my chances of catching Ari, but next car in front is Emo, so I think I can make this work for the top 5. I'm just going to play it cool here. Ari's coming back to me a little bit too, but take them as they come. 23 laps to go. Emo's sliding in and out of traffic. Come on. Let's go slide up behind. There's a lot of slow cars here. Oh, rocket down the inside, right up behind Scotty Brayton. Right on the low side. All right, that was good. That was good. Come on, I got to make this work somehow. Just don't do anything too silly. 5th gear for turns 3 and 4. If this can work out and get around him on the front straightaway. All right, get on the throttle. There we go. Down the low side of Brayton. We got the slow car up here too. Pass him. All right. Let's not celebrate too soon, but up to P4. Let me just try to run away from Lyondike and Emo behind me. Michael Andretti, Bobby Rahal are actually swapping positions up front, I think. Oh, there's a little pack up there. We maybe have a gaggle of cars. This might be able to play out for me. Jeff Wood, come on. It's tempting to go around the outside there, but the AI really like to go straight to the wall through the kink, so it doesn't tend to work well. There's a lot of cars up ahead, and a lot of swapping for the lead. Looks like Rick Mears is in the lead ahead of Michael, Bobby. Well, they're swapping back and forth. I think that probably means they're in traffic, which is good for me. I just got to stay on it. See a couple yellow cars up there, so that could be them. 3.8 seconds, come on. Dobson on the high side here. Whoa, hold your breath. 17 laps to go. We're running out of time. It's going to come down to the end here real quick, and I need to finish. I need to finish this race. I'm in 4th position. That's really good. But I can see the 2 of them up there, the 2 yellow cars. Andretti got back around them somehow. But all 3 leaders in front of me are like pretty close together right now. Stuck up behind Boiselle just a little bit. Just going to go to low side, 2, 3, and 4. I'll take the high side. Thank you. No traffic or anything. It's just pure laps right now. That means there might be a lot of traffic in one spot on the track, which could bode well. I have no idea how many cars are out of the race. So there might just be a little less traffic in general right now. Looks like the 3 leaders, or there's one slow car holding up Mears and Ray Hall, which is good for me. Steen Hall, it looks like. Sticks so well. Oh, I just scraped the wall a little bit. Should be okay. That's about as much as you can do without damage. Get around Hall there. There's a big pack of cars. This might be my shot at it. Just a big cluster of lap traffic. .2 seconds back. 11 laps to go. Almost into the final 10, and I can see them all. I can see them all straight ahead. It's a pretty big pack, but it's not super tight, so I think they're going to be able to get through it reasonably well. But I got to pounce. My opportunity. Right up to the back then. Mears and Ray Hall. All right, play it cool. Whoa. That was close. I just over-revved so much there. I went down to 4th instead of 5th. Whoa, Brayton pits on the inside. I think he caught out. That was Ray Hall, just like narrowly missed him. I narrowly missed both of them. Get this red car. All right, Mears takes the lead again from Andretti. And we got both the Newman Haas cars in front. Mario's many laps down. Try to get around Mario here onto the front straightaway. That was so close. I don't know how. I'll have to watch that back to see how close I was to hitting Ray Hall there, but Ray Hall's actually still with us. He must be furious at the lapped car. I didn't even see who that was going to the pits. Brayton, maybe? All right, Andretti, Mears, head to the high side. Got one of the Porsches here. Oh, come on. Checked up behind him just like Mears does. Just don't do anything silly. Gotta make it, gotta make it. All right, John Andretti here in front. There's a lot of cars pitting here right at the end. It's really interesting. All right, Michael's in front, 6 laps to go. I wonder if he's going to have to pit. I mean, he shouldn't. Get that around him for P2. Got one of the Porsches here. Teo Fabi. All right, it's just me and Michael now. End of 89 season at Laguna, reimagined for 1990, start of the decade. Come on, a little more front bar just to have confidence in the car going into the corner. 4 laps to go. I wonder if he pits, I mean, I will take the jankiness of it. They usually don't do stuff like that where they would like pit, so I wonder if those cars had problems or something. I have no idea. A little bit wide into turn 1. Just a couple laps to go. I'm reeling him in ever so slightly. Come on. Come to the line. 2 laps to go. He's kind of catch some lap traffic now. It's Dobson. Come on, Dobson, be my best friend. Oh, he's got Bettenhausen as well. No, yellow flag. Oh, that's it. That's the end of the race. Ah, I was so close. Oh my God, I almost blew the engine too. Last lap. Gonna end under yellow. I was so close to catching him. I think I had him too. With the lap traffic and stuff, he was maybe gonna get held up there on the front straightaway. Oh my God. I'm lucky I didn't blow the engine there. Second place behind Michael Andretti. We'll come to the line here to finish the race. That was so intense. Oh, I'm so happy with this though. I could have won this race. I could have won the race, but not a lot you can do. Second place is still so much better than I thought I was going to be able to do today. Just with everything, just any little incident would have been would have been it. Such a good race. Look at that. Wow, there's a lot of folks in here too. Thank you all for watching, I guess, and I hope it was entertaining. But, I mean, this showed how good is this sim? How good are these old sims? If you can just get past the pixels, I kind of like them too. It's like, it lets you really feel like you're back in the day. Yeah, we'll look at who caused the yellow and everything here in a second. But, man, second place finish. How good is IndyCar 2, though? Like, what other sim can you have a race like that? Especially in IndyCars, but like any sim. Any type of car. There it is. There it is. Ryan Axleson, second place, round 1. Feels good. I think I need a Foster's after that. I think I need it. All right. We're going to look at everything. We're going to look at the final results. We're going to look at the replay, points, all that. I'm going to take a quick break, though. And I'll be right back with it. What a race. What a race. I'll see y'all in a second. Oh, I'm going to be on a high for a while for that one. What a good race that was. It was so good. These things, I always wonder, like, am I going to get a good race? Because, like I said, I have done more testing for this than usual. And that's going to have to happen this whole season. I'm going to have to practice a lot to, to actually have good races the whole season. I'm going to have to practice a ton. But in my testing, in my testing, the race was very different a lot. So, like, sometimes the race was one car just so far ahead that it's actually impossible to catch them. Other races, I'm easily winning. That very rarely, but once in a while you get one where you can just easily win. Having one where like 5 cars, 6 cars are that close together is very rare, but it's so awesome, and I love that it's possible. Yeah, we have Detroit, so we'll be able to race on the downtown Detroit circuit. I don't know what's left to do with it. The version I have right now, I don't know, I think I have the public one. Seems good enough. So if there's more improvements, then that'll be good too. Oh, it was such a good race, though. Such a good race. Okay, we got a lot of stuff to look at here to see what happened during the end here. That was so frantic towards the very end. But we'll jump into back to the game. Yeah, we're going to look at what caused the yellow and everything. What an opener. And also, I mean, this is more like YouTube stuff, but this is the first video of the whole series. And if this one went really bad, that would not be good for the whole series. But the fact that this race was good is like so important to me. But all right, there we go. So there we have the finish. We'll look at the standings, the final results. I didn't lead any laps today. the pits were kind of weird, right? Because I had to short pit a few times, and just the way it worked out. The second pit stop probably hurt me a bit. Just trying to think back to how the whole race went. I think the first pit stop where I stopped like 5-6 laps early was good because there was so much traffic. The second pit stop definitely hurt me. Just because I was so slow, and I ended up coming out in traffic anyway, so I didn't even get to take advantage of that. So, but you know, it all worked out, and I almost got the win. Yeah, it looks like Fabi might have cost it. All right, so we'll look at the results though. Michael Andretti, it's gonna be another season with him, isn't it? He was good in this era, so like, I mean, he was good his whole career, to be honest. But this era especially was like prime Michael Andretti era. So he gets the win today. Unser Jr. was nowhere. I got second position, leading no laps. I'll take it. Bobby Ray Hall hurls his car up from 12th on the grid to finish third, leading 19 laps. Ray Hall had a good day. Then Rick Mears and Ari Leindijk both lead 53 laps. Good race from all of them. Michael Andretti's going to get the point for the most laps today. Emerson Fittipaldi 6th. Danny Sullivan led a lap, probably the first lap, but he finished 2 laps down. That's interesting. Bad race for him. And Allenser Jr. as well. In my testing, Jr., I mean, just like real life, I did custom AI ratings for this, as I did with last season. I like big field spread. I like AI cars to be, not to be, you could set them up so that they're like the same order every race. I don't like that. I like it to be so that you could run the same race 15 times and you'd have different results, but they're all realistic. So in my testing though, Unser Jr. is always up front. So it's kind of crazy that he's out back. That's going to be good for the championship, I think. Eddie Cheever, John Andretti, Raul Boesel, Mario Andretti is finishing 6 laps down. AJ Foyt finishes in 13th. Good for him. Teo Fabi with an accident. I think that's our yellow. We'll take a look at the actual replay in a second. Dobson finishes back in 15th. Scott Goodyear, he was tough to pass. Tony Bettenhausen Jr. That was a tough lap car. Randy Lewis, Mike Groff. We had a lot of finishers. Dean Hall, and then we get into the mechanicals. Not so many, though. We had, obviously, Fabi with the accident, but then John Wood, Scott Brayton, Roberto Guerrero, and Didier Thays we saw. But those 2 accidents, we didn't have anybody retire with mechanicals till Brayton did that crazy move. That was what that pit was at the end. Jeff Wood as well. Yeah, I know Fabi kind of robbed the finish there, but that's how it happens sometimes. Hour 15 minutes, we only had 3 cautions, 10 laps total. They were quick cautions. And a .632 margin of victory is under yellow, though. Average race speed, 160 miles per hour. Alright, save that just in case. I'm going to use the in-sim championship, but I save all the results, all the replays, so if something broke, we would be able to still do the season. Alright, we'll look at the replay here. Let me save this as well. Cool. Nothing crashed. Alright, so we'll go back to the time. Well, let's watch like the last 5 laps. How about that? That was so exciting. I had a lot of fun doing that. I'm excited for the season now. Yeah, I was very excited coming into this today. I'm more excited now for the rest of the season. You might be seeing Long Beach very soon. Alright, so there's a few laps to go. Now, one huge issue, and like oversight maybe it was hard to do, but you cannot see on the replay like positions. Oh, that was right there with the yellow. So okay, let's find Fabi. There he is. Kind of the same incident for all 3 cars today. He was a bit later in the corner though. Yeah, just another one of these spins. Fabi wrecks it. Makes it really interesting. I think it's going to be really fun. If I can actually like finish races with full damage, I think it's going to make it an interesting season. Right into the wall. Right into the wall. Yeah, that's how some of the crashes are. It's basically the game, it's like random, and it's kind of always based off of ratings. It's like, is this driver going to crash? And then they suddenly decide, yes, they crash. Oh, thank you, Paulina, so much. And thank you for, you've been a member as well for a very long time. Full damage is very brave. If you can't tell, I'm very excited that I finished this. I did not think it was likely that I was going to finish the race today. All right, so there's our results, and here's the standings. After one round, so not a lot to look at. It's going to be the same order, obviously, as the results, but I picked up 16 points today. Michael Andretti up front, 21 points. He gets the extra bonus point for the most laps led. Danny Sullivan picks up an extra point from 6 to have 7 for his pole position. But Michael Andretti, Ryan Axleson, Bobby Rahal, Rick Mears, Ari Leyendyke, Emerson Fittipaldi, Danny Sullivan, Al Unser Jr., Eddie Cheever, John Andretti, Raul Boesel, and Mario picks up the final point for the championship today. I'm lucky the engine survived. I'm lucky I finished the race. We're headed to Long Beach next for the next round. And that's going to be a whole different type of crazy. I think you might understand why I was so excited that today went well once we get to Long Beach next time out. But I think that's it for today then. I'm very happy how the season started. I would have loved to have the win or have a chance at fighting for that on the final lap, but I could also have done something stupid there in the final corner, and we'll never know. But it was a good start to the season. I appreciate everybody joining me today. It's fun to play these old sims and to have such an audience doing it. These aren't the kind of games that you play to attract the most people. Let's just say that. So I know all of you here watching today are big fans of this stuff as well, and so happy to have you along for the ride, and excited for the next one. So it shouldn't be too far away from now. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks or so, I will get to that, and we'll continue on the championship. But yeah, what a round, what a race. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all again next time.